Hello everyone. Today is Monday, September 12th. And on Mondays, we do our overview of the books of the Bible. Today, we will be talking about an introduction to Philippians. All right, before that, we're going to do our trivia question. So let's see what that is for today. To whom did Jesus say, "Upon this rock I will build my church"? And of course, that was Peter. Today's question: what did Jesus say has enough trouble of its own? What did Jesus say has enough trouble of its own? Okay. Well, I hope you're all having a wonderful Monday, the first day of the week. Do we have a smile on our face, or, oh man, Monday? Then we all like Wednesday, hump day, and then finally the weekend. But I like Mondays. It's the beginning of a new week, new things to explore, to do, to study. It's wonderful. So I hope you're having a great time. If you're at home, if you're shut in, if you're out there working a job every day, my heart goes out to you. I know it's not easy making a living these days. So I know several of you are out there working every day, and that you take time out of your schedule to stop by and listen to some daily devotions, some overviews of the book of the Bible, our everyday inspiration card that I just started. Those are all ways that are very pleasing to the Lord, and there's always a way to make time in our schedule for the Lord. And if there isn't, something's terribly wrong. So let's get to Philippians. Now I'm taking this from the Inspirational Study Bible by Max Lido. He gives really a good summation of the books. He puts it in an understandable way for us to understand, which I always like that. The more simple it is to understand, or put in a way that it can be understood for some people. Sometimes saying things in a little bit different way, then it's like, oh, okay, I got that. So let's get started. Perhaps the symbol of this generation is the exercise bike. It represents what most have, excess weight. It represents what most want, to be different. It represents what most people spend most of their time doing, pedaling furiously and getting nowhere. High activity but low achievement. Carpools, diapers, bills, time clocks. Office walls painted gray with routine. Houses framed with wooden humdrum. For many, life is lived on the exercise bike. Day after day in the same seat, doing the same thing but seeing the same scenery. Is there any end to this tunnel of grayness? There is. Go with me back in history. A couple of thousand years, let us go to the city of Rome, the thrilling metropolis of gladiators, chariots, and empires. But don't stop at the Colosseum or the palace. Go rather to a drab little room surrounded by high walls. Let's imagine that we can peek into the room and look. Inside we see a man seated on the floor. He's an older fellow, shoulders stooped and balding. Chains are on his hands and feet, and chained to him is a guard from the Roman army. It is the Apostle Paul, the apostle who has traveled all over the world, the apostle who has liberated people in every port, the apostle who was bound only by the will of God is now in chains, stuck in a dingy house attached to a Roman soldier. Here is a fellow who has every reason to be in a slump. He is restricted by walls. He is afflicted by friends. He is conflicted by danger. He is writing a letter. No doubt it's a complaint letter to God. No doubt it is a list of grievances. No doubt he is writing the New Testament version of Lamentations. He has every reason to be bitter and complain, but he doesn't. Instead, he writes a letter that 2,000 years later is known as the Treatise on Joy. Sound interesting? Of course it does. Who couldn't use a guide to joy in this world? Why don't you spend some time with it? Dismount the bicycle to nowhere and follow Paul as he guides you down the trail to peace. The Trustees is an essay, a study, an exposition. So here he is in jail. I don't think it was a nice jail at all. Damp, cold, dungy, dirty. Oh, imagine day after day that just most people would go nuts. But the Apostle Paul wants to tell us how to endure and be content in any situation we may face. To count it our joy when we're persecuted for the cause of Christ. And it's a wonderful book. It's a short book. I read it this morning. Full of many wonderful things. And it's a huge book of encouragement to us. So if you have time, you might want to read the short 4 chapters. I think it's 4 chapters. Let me recheck. Yep, 4 chapters. I remembered it right. All right, that's our lesson for today, our study, Introduction into Philippians. I am really looking forward to the time when we can do a book-by-book study and bring out things in each book, you know, when it was written, you know, who it was written to, where were they at, what were the circumstances, who, what, when, where, and how. And it can be quite fascinating, and we can learn a whole lot from the scriptures, and it never grows old. I often thought of all the preachers that have come since the time of Christ, and thousands, millions of preachers. Like, what do they find new to talk about? I mean, how many sermons on this and that and the other thing? And it's like, has it all been said? Yes. Has it all sunk in? No. Because each time we go to the Word, it's the living Word. You always learn something new. You always continue to grow your entire life. And you'll find that you're reading and you go, how could I miss that? It was there all the time. How did I just look over that? But as we mature in Christ, we start seeking more deeply and looking at scriptures in a different way. Remember, we talked about the milk and meat of the Word. All right, that's it for today. I am having a good day now. The morning was rough. My knees hurt so bad. And I have an appointment this month to see a knee surgeon. Well, a doctor. He is a surgeon, but I don't think I need surgery, hopefully. But my shoulder and neck have been just over the top today. I finally put on some icy hot. That works wonders for me. I put some on before I sat down, and it has relaxed it a little bit. So that's good. I'm going to my appointment tomorrow for PT. I am looking forward to that. So I will be back tomorrow with another great devotional on God, Crochet, and Chatter. I know I say crochet, but I'm still not up to crocheting just yet. But when I do, I got a couple of things that I want to get started on. So you take care. You know I love you. Keep those prayers coming as I pray for you. And we haven't heard from our dear Joanne yet. Her husband had cancer surgery. I'm sure she's caring for him. So we just pray that everything went good during the surgery. All right, everyone, take care. Lord willing, I'll be back tomorrow.